should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies? And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this
put that on a
page.
guess.
The writing, it's not my mother's.
That was on a
S.
guess.
I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel?
Here's the angel.
What does that mean?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
Okay. He who hears the angel.
There's something else behind this painting. It says,
Will that
half
connect?
of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
No, it doesn't connect. Okay, never mind. Awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. I completely put this on a guess, man. I found your books in your effort. I can see. There's gotta be something else that I'm missing. I just don't know what chapter that it would be. Hold on, I'll just have to cut to it apparently.
Then they suborned men and would have eaten, but while they were ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening.
I'm not pretty
Stand
easily
ready.
asleep.
For now, let's cease all communication until we meet.
So,
Take care of yourself.
Warner, of course.
I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare.
I didn't get
What
to
does
read
she
anymore.
mean by that?
If anything, there'd be a nightmare. So if I have visions, it's probably literal.
Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? Nightmare. Does that remind me of anything?
It should. Oh, well, I don't know. I really don't know, and I can't just say it does. Well, Volner had a relation with Elizabeth, but apparently Elizabeth calls our mom devil or something like that. So maybe it's a concept.
Well, if it's a concept, I've got no idea what it is. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together.
Shit.
I ought to join
Okay.
them so I don't look suspicious.
I guess I can't read any more clues in here. I can't read any more of this, and I can't open this box. I never found the keys for that. Well, I guess I have to leave the room. Of course, I failed that, yeah. Okay. Erudition. Yeah. Erudition. I'm gonna add a point into erudition and I have it into politics. Erudition, politics. Let's see if I can get it into etiquette. Wait. I could have it like that, yeah.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Okay, now I gotta go this way.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Alright, thank you. Can't go in the Dutchess. Can't speak to Shirley. Alright, that's enough of checking upstairs. There's nothing else to look at.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis? About last night, I'm guessing.
Sadly, no. Even if I'd like to have, alas,
Talk about last
there are
night,
more
the one we
pressing
together.
matters. I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's.
My mom killed her.
Did my
straight
mother
up.
know about your secret?
That's what I
Yes,
had to
even
tell
though
her.
I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
Must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Don't send down my mother's trail. I can't tell. Oh, that's what manipulation's for. I'll try this out.
If Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself. They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me.
I guess that's how I gave the answer
Should I
to it.
speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
I'll tell
Emily,
her. I'll tell
there's
her.
something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening. Well, thanks for not
okay.
trying to hide it.
Alright, so
What?
she knew.
Why didn't you
Good thing
tell
I
me?
told her.
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
Apparently she knew the whole thing about it too. But I can't hear that second conversation in the back. I had to keep going.
Why would she do that?
I don't know, Louis, but I'll find out. You can count on that.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
We had to
Thank
keep
you,
going.
Louis.
We had to move on.
You're very kind. It means a lot to me. But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
Great.
There
Yes.
must be an explanation,
Yes, she
Emily.
does have, but she
That's
doesn't
what
right
we
now.
shall see.
We'll speak about it later, somewhere safe.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Let's go, Duchess.
Will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest. But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
I'm gonna ask who it is.
And who is this charming character?
Manuel Godoy, the Duke of La Alcudia. He's the head of the
Alcudia.
Spanish government, Monsieur de Richet. He's the one who, in practice, controls Spain.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National
Revolution?
Convention which Monsieur Peru works for,
Okay.
King Louis was guillotined.
Okay.
What? Oh, no.
One of
The
his
King of
kings.
France is dead, gentlemen.
Wow.
Our monarchies
A
are in
king is
danger.
dead.
I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh, dear. As if
Gracious.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote! Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Good thing I have this. Yo, barely. I'm thinking the
If I
consequences of the
remember
order.
rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us. Sad news, sir.
Yeah, I have something to say.
With whom do I have the pleasure
Fortunately.
of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Everyone
Sarah
knows
is his mother, Duke.
Sarah. Yeah.
Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise.
Right.
Let's ensure
That's
that
okay.
our
Life
respective
happens.
countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you.
Okay.
Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another.
Okay.
When you
sound
hear
good.
the
We can
bell,
meet this
please
Spaniard
proceed to the conclave room on my
Manuel
left,
Godoy.
behind that door. I'll
Manuel.
see you later.
Manuel Godoy. I wonder if who will allow us to talk to him. So, find out what Vaughn is hiding.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you
Bonner-
asked. I want to talk to you too. Of
Vaughn
course.
is the one that could have killed Elizabeth.
I heard about
Only
your mother's
chance.
disappearance.
He looks
Only
concerned.
chance.
I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone.
Okay, so he's
Let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
To hear you
There
speak,
is.
you seem to know my mother well.
Not really.
Right.
We met for the first time on this very spot
Who is this?
some weeks back.
He's this?
We had a very pleasant discussion. She's an exceptionally learned lady with a good head for business, and no need for me to tell you that.
I agree.
Right.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Pretend to know. Prompt him to talk about it. So this is what he's focused. How could I know? Prompt him to talk about it. His manipulation. Manipulation.
Absolutely, but I was hoping that you could tell me more about it.
Well, she was planning to sell me a very old book.
Oh.
I will make no secret of the fact that I am passionate about the
Al-Aziz?
subject. And when
Maybe,
Sarah spoke
maybe.
to me about it, her account literally had me enthralled.
Bet. Really?
I can think of
I just don't
nothing
know
else
what else it
since.
could be.
You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
I have. He looks of ships. Make him talk what he's at. Speak to him about the mysterium. Let's go.
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush.
For real.
Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's divided into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face light up.
Alright.
Well,
it's
I'll take a closer
only
look, but
copy
I
of a book.
can't promise you anything.
You seem very upset.
Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute.
Oh, for
I was
real?
very surprised to
It's
learn
gonna
that
slip
your
away
mother
again,
had
man.
it in her possession.
It is
I
the book.
thought it was with a certain von
It
Borchardt
is
in
the
Paris.
LSZ.
Do you know him?
Of course I
Indeed.
do.
One of your close friends?
No, not really, but we were close once. Precisely over the case that concerns us now, because he claimed to have the book I'm looking for.
Another dishonest person. What can you say? Can't trust anyone these days, huh?
No, you can't.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. Von Volner, and that you succeed in finding what you're
We
looking for.
know he
Oh,
was the LSZ.
And so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, Von Volner. You're the one who Von Burchard was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me
Well,
guess.
that's what I'm not poking to. He's a Prussian. Home is someone else. One of them is on his own game.
Your dear king, I should think.
What? You mean Frederick William? Oh, my poor fellow. You are miles away. That stupid, pretentious puppet wields no real power. But seeing as you do
Anyone
not
tell
wish to
me?
be serious, so be it. Good luck to you.
Could have been home. It could have been home. What was my mom saying earlier about that message? Either way, find out more clues about my mother's note. Okay, I'll do that. Hit up some jelly.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
I have a key. I have a key. Oh, what is that?
No space left. I'll retrieve it later. Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia. Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character. Amber crystals. Amber.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Oh,
May I
dude,
speak
I'm
with you a
so
moment?
close to
May
you.
we?
Okay. Tell me more about the coming conference. Ask him about.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
His reputation precedes him, which I know nothing about. He doesn't give a damn about his reputation. Tell me more. Will this not be an opportunity to get to know him better?
There are some rumors about his loose morals.
Juste, monsieur. Add to that his devouring ambition, if you want my opinion. Playing at lover boy rather than gaining merit for his career. It's a disgrace for any soldier.
I understand your point of view.
Ask him
Would you have
about
any
the
more
complaints.
information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Okay. Bet you're right. You're right about that.
Does expression "go beyond the nightmare" mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed.
That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has.
Got
You
to go
ought
look
to
for a
check in
book.
the library of the tower. You never know.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I'll go look in the
Well,
library.
I'll be leaving you now.
Thanks, Napoleon.
Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Nope.
Unfortunately not, no.
don't
I
know
hope
where
to
she
speak
is,
with
though.
her
She's
about
lost.
my deal before I
She'll
leave.
show up soon, though.
Let me know if you find her. À
She'll
plus
find
tard,
us.
monsieur.
Wow. I'm gonna see if you can see something.
What
different.
can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Nope. Let's see if he has anything to say. Speak about the nightmare.
Go beyond the nightmare. Does this line remind you of anything in particular?
You caught me unaware here, Louis. Let me think about it a second. No, nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Louis, but I am unable to help you.
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
Out of what context? He must have good reason.
What do you mean?
The situation is ready to explode with France over Catalonia.
Well, the Duke must have a darn good reason to be absent and come here, mustn't he?
When Lord Mortimer invites you, Louis, you come. It's always in your best interest.
I wouldn't say that personally, but
That's all we can really say.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend. Regarding your question on the nightmare, don't hesitate to question the others about it. Maybe one of them knows more than I do.
That's a good idea. Thank you once again. I'll see you in a little bit.
I won't hesitate to ask them about that question. Madam
This
Butterfly.
book changed the way I look at the
Butterfly.
world.
Come on, that water. I wonder if I'm gonna find some jelly. There's the Pope.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
The king was playing with fire. That's right. Huh. A king made with things work all by himself.
Your Eminence, I haven't been following the case. I'm sure that the Order did everything in its power. Unfortunately, you know the situation in Paris, and, well, it's chaotic at best. Anything can happen in those revolutionary tribunals.
The king is the official representative of God on earth, my son.
Your Eminence, France has become a secular state. The king was just another citizen to them. He refused to admit his errors, looked down upon them, and attempted to escape. What did he expect?
France has lost all reason, Louis.
Well, that's what
I
happened.
invite you to speak about it with my mother
Peaceful
as
turn on
soon
the
as
king.
she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak.
I wonder
to
when
me.
I'm gonna get to the next scene, but I don't know what I'm trying to. I'm just trying to find clues about the nightmare. I'm not just trying to rush it though. I'm gonna skip it for you guys, but I'm gonna go through it by myself.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Think of a place and tell me the first thing that comes into your mind when I say the nightmare.
Let me think. I'd say Lord Mortimer's favorite painting on the wall behind his desk. You know, that painting caused quite a stir when it was exhibited.
A painting
It is
behind-
titled The Nightmare,
Oh,
and
right,
it shows
yeah,
a
I've seen
woman
it.
lying down with a creature sitting on her, and in the background, a horse. I don't know if it will be of any help, but I can't think of anything else.
I seen it.
You never
I've
know.
Seen that painting.
Thank you for that, though,
I
Your
looked
Eminence.
at it specifically.
I gotta go and
I
see it
remember how
just
it
in
looks
case.
like. I
though.
remember looked at it before. Alright,
Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son.
Thanks,
I will be
Reggie.
seeing you, Louis.
Thank you. No, is there any more jelly? That's too.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Gotta go to the library. I gotta go to the library. I gotta go see about that nightmare book.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Would not be the one?
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples. Amber crystals. The Song of Roland.
Roland Christ Crucified by Velasquez.
Look, someone's left a note there.
Reserved for the Duke of Alqui.
A fragment of amber. There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
I'm finding little stuff. I'm just gonna cut it. It's okay. It's like it planned me.